going on, guys? It's Shadow bringing you guys. I believe it's round 3, but before we get into it, obviously the giveaway ended yesterday on the 28th. Been slacking on videos. We've been doing some other stuff, but we will be doing the wheel spin video. So for whoever commented on the video for over the last week, this is everyone that's commented. Best of luck to everyone. Winner, whoever is the winner, I will put my Twitter or my X in my description, and then you just have to shoot me a message and we can figure out how we're gonna get you the gift or the giveaway, the mat of your choosing. So we'll go ahead and spin it and see who gets it. Let's see who is the winner, and that kid playing RS is the winner of the giveaway. So you have the choice between the 3 mats that were chosen. Obviously, again, I'm gonna put the Twitter link in the description, and message me and we can get that all figured out and situated. Without further ado, let's get into the Shanks v Shanks mirror match. So here I'm doing a mirror match with my buddy Spade. We're at TGS. I won dice roll, chose to go first, and on all honesty, I believe going second is the better play to do if you win dice roll, just because you can establish a body, still swing with leader, attaching a Don, and basically makes them still have to give you a 1k. But he opens up with the Uta search and grabbing the Ben Beckman and passes it over to me. So I'm on my 3-Don turn. I'm going to just swing 6k with my leader, attaching a Don, which he will use his leader ability, and turn it into just needing to give me a 1k, which is great. Shank's ability is perfect. But I'm going to establish the Sanji, and the Sanji's there just like I put earlier, pressure on my opponent. But he's going to pass after establishing a Lucky Roo. And this is where a lot changes for me, because I want to swing and put pressure on his leader so he could at least start giving me cards from hand. But the Lucky Roo is changing that, because if he decides to block with the Lucky Roo, he can choose to pop the Sanji. And I kind of don't want to lose the Sanji, right now at least. But it's not a bad play to do, but I do take my own life. As you see, I'm contemplating on playing out something from my hand, and I'm contemplating on doing Hongo. I want to establish the Hongo specifically for later turns, because then I can choose to use his activate main to give something minus 2000, and then swing into it, which is the main purpose of me wanting to establish the Hongo. This is my first Shanks mirror, so I wasn't sure exactly how to go about it. But I do play the Hongo, and I decide to pass without swinging. And I do this just so that he can't choose. If I swing with Sanji, he can't pop the Hongo, which if I were him, he's going to want to get rid of Hongo. Or if I swing with lead, he's going to pop the Sanji. So either way, at this point, not worth swinging. I believe I have a Ben Beckman in hand to get rid of the Lucky Roo, so I'll just try to stall out a turn. And he ends up playing another Uta Searcher. The Uta Searcher is good because it allows you to find your top end Shanks, obviously, the 10 drop, minus 1000 everything, or different pieces like the Lucky Roo and Ben Beckman. I personally don't run any in my list. I'm really running more of a 2k Red Hawk, kind of hiding behind the Red Hawk to pop, so kind of a board control version of it, but I mean, teach their own. He swings 6. I don't use leader ability because I decided to take it anyway, and he establishes another Lucky Roo, which sucks because I had the Ben Beckman here to get rid of the 1, and if he didn't have this Lucky Roo, I definitely would have started swinging out with the Sanji and my leader. But I am contemplating on doing the Sanji ability, but I decided to pass. I have double Red Hawk in hand, as you saw, a couple 2Ks, but no Don up, so the Red Hawk's kind of useless at the moment, since I am unable to use it. But yeah, my plans are basically all out of whack because of the Lucky Roos that Spade continues to establish, which sucks. but it is what it is. So he's gonna swing 6. Here, I'm contemplating doing leader ability and stacking it on the Lucky Roo, so if he decides to go aggressive with it, he's going to be forced to use a Don attached to it. But he plays... I end up just giving him a 2k, and he plays out the Ben Beckman and chooses to trash the Hongo, which is the better choice. Yes, the Sanji, I could put pressure on his leader, but I decide not to. And then here, I choose to give the Rayleigh minus 3,000 to his Ben Beckman and minus 2 to the Lucky Roo. And I'm going to pop an Uta. And I decide to do it like this to get rid of the Uta so he doesn't stack Don on it. I already knew that he was going to pop my Sanji with his Lucky Roo. So I decided to swing to at least get a draw off of the Sanji to try to find different answers. And here I swing 6 with my leader. So if he decides to do leader ability, it would still take him another card out of hand. And the Ben Beckman connects to get him to draw his first life. So the Sanji ended up finding me a 10 cost Rush Shanks, which you just saw there in my hand. So currently 1. If I can establish it on my next turn, we are going to be in a better position than we are right now. But Spade is already at 10 Don, and you see him slap down the film Shanks that can pop, I believe, a 10k or less on play. So he's able to pop the Rayleigh, which sucks because I was going to use the Rayleigh to start putting pressure. But I do establish my 10 cost Rush Ace, and I'm going to swing with my leader, and he uses his leader ability. And I'm considering on swinging with the Shanks, but I know on the clap back, he could just attach Don and swing with his film Shanks, so I choose not to swing with it because you see I swing with the Ben Beckman and get cards out of hand and pass turn. And the main reason is so he doesn't just attach Don and swing at this 10 cost 10 cost Shanks. Because as long as this thing is on the field, I can put more pressure on Spade than he can on me, and everything is less counter based for me, so he's gonna have to utilize more Don to try to swing. Obviously the film Shanks can swing, but like if he wanted to swing with these Utas, he's gonna have to put way more on him. So he plays out a Rayleigh, and he's gonna lower I believe the Ben Beckman by 3, yep, making it a 4k, and he's gonna swing big at it. I let it go. As much as I would like to keep it to put pressure, not worth spending all that Don to save it, in my opinion. And here he considered on swinging with his Shanks, and he chose not to, which was the good choice because I was definitely going to swing at that thing if able to. And then here I play out the Silver's Rayleigh to draw 2, and I'm going to trash 1 since he has the Rayleigh and the Shanks on the field. I dropped the Marco because I do have the Red Hawks in hand, so I can use it for counter. Also that Rush Ace and another Rayleigh. So he gives me the counter, and I believe I start putting pressure on. He takes that one, and I start swinging out because if he decides to swing at my Shanks, I have 4 Don ups that I can use Gum Gum Red Hawk to protect it. So mainly did it like this since now I have the coverage for the Shanks. At best, he applies 4 Don, and I get out of it because it is already giving itself a minus 1,000 reduction. And he chooses to pop the Rayleigh with with his own Rayleigh, which sucks because I was going to use that to put pressure and swing, if not use the protect if he decides to swing big. So gives my Shanks minus 2 off of his secret Rayleigh that he played, which puts it under. But the Red Hawk will get it over, and I am able to pop the Uta that he had on the field, but I did not notice the Rayleigh that he had, or the Ben Beckman, because of the glare. So I used the last Red Hawk in hand to not take that life, and I really needed that just so that I couldn't, I wouldn't take that other life. Can't really go down all the way, but establishing this second Shanks is definitely where the game starts to change for me. So I'm going to swing 5 at the Ben Beckman. Since I have both Shanks, it's going to make it in range for me. So I basically here I'm clearing his board. Use my lower cost attack Shanks to get rid of his Rayleigh. And my 12k Shanks to get rid of his Shanks. Which now I believe looks like a 10k if I'm not mistaken. But him not being able to counter out any of these things shows me that he really has no counter in hand, which is perfect for me. But also that minus 2k helps out so much for me being able to clear the board there. And all this happened just because I decided to not swing with Shanks that one turn to give him a chance to be able to remove it. So sometimes not being full on aggressive helps. But here he's establishing the new gate from the starter deck. And gives his leader Rested Dawn. So he's swinging for 8. I do my leader ability and I counter out for 3k since it made his swing 7k. Don't want to take, again, a lot of life here. But at this point, I'm in a good position to just start putting pressure. Here I can establish, I believe, I was thinking about doing Ben Beckman because I would be able to trash his new gate that he has on the field. Or his other Rayleigh, I believe that's in the glare section at the moment. So I'm going to swing 5 with my leader. He uses his ability, which is great, you know, free counter right there. And I swing with both of my Shanks at his lead. He's contemplating on countering out because he has 1 Dawn up, potentially for Rad Beam. And I'm going to opt to do the Rayleigh. And at this point here, I'm looking for counter. Trying to see what else I can find. But the double Rayleigh definitely lets me cycle out my non-counter cards. And my 1Ks out for 2Ks. So I'm pretty much set up so that next turn I can go lethal. If he wanted to, he wouldn't even be able to pop one of these Raiders with his new gate because they need to be a 5k stat line. So I set myself up pretty good right here. And all I need next, so yeah, it looks like I have 5 2Ks in hand. With 2 blockers on the board. If the blocker survives this turn, I can use both blockers to swing out and pressure his hand. I think he only has 5 cards in hand with 1 life. If he plays out a blocker, I think I have a Ben Beckman. Yep, I have 1 Ben Beckman in my hand in case he does play out a blocker. And then with the minus 2k from both of the Shanks, even if he plays out a blocker, I'd be able to get rid of it with ease. So he's swinging 6k with a Rayleigh. And I use my leader ability. I believe I chose his leader. And I counter out with a 2k. Because I don't want to drop the Ben Beckman. Or I don't want to block and then him go for one of my blockers. As long as I'm able to counter out, I'd rather just give him the cards in my hand. And keep the bodies on the field. So here he's swinging for 8 with his lead. Since I did do the reduction on his leader, I decided to take it. Obviously I do have the counter in hand, but I'd rather just bait it out. And I think he was swinging at lead. I gave him one of the blockers, which I was okay with. Don't want to drop too low in case of a Goldie Roger, but I ended up drawing the Goldie Roger myself, which was perfect. And at this point, I could just swing out with everything and go for game with the 2 Shanks and then a Rogers if needed. If you guys like the content, make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment down below what you guys thought, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.